Well, hello, folks. Welcome back to OnlyLeedsBros for the match build-up. This time, Leeds United versus Harrogate Town FA Cup third round. Before we get into it, Dillo, we've been missing you for a while. How are you feeling? How are you keeping?
Oh, lads, I'm an emotional man. It's unreal. This flu or infection or whatever I have is just punching me around. I still haven't been back to work yet, unfortunately. So I'm locked up in this house, feeling sorry for myself. Got out today for a few hours, but we will keep going, lads. We have to keep going. Just like Leeds United, ups and downs, but we keep motoring on. But I'm raging I did miss the one with you and Jer. It was a really good video. Really enjoyed that one.
Yeah, so we did do a bit of a get together with Jer Lynch from The View. Really good. Sit down and a chat. Obviously, it's good to hear Jer's just he is the voice of reason, even though he doesn't like being called that. He very much is, and he just speaks sense to it, doesn't he? He just brings sense to the whole lot of it, doesn't he? So
he makes me sleep at night time with a bit of reassurance.
Yeah, he just calms you down, doesn't it? That everything's going to be all right and puts everything into perspective. What was great.
This is like, take 2 paracetamol. I was like, no, sorry, I'll just listen to Jerry. He'll kind of soothe me. Put me to sleep, you know.
Love it, absolutely love it. We have Mighty from Imagine Up in Leeds, even my brothers, even a Mighty. Hope you're keeping well, pal. Mighty is live, lads, as well at 10 o'clock after this, so make sure you go check him out. And love the video with Jerry. Yeah, if you haven't checked it out, we did do a video with Jerry, guys. Really good one. Dillo, we'll get into it anyway. Daniel Farke's press conference, obviously, it was 2 days ago. We always like to listen to it the day of the match. Yeah, so it was one of them press conferences where, well, for one, actually, we could actually hear the questions that were being asked. So that was obviously a start, and it's got a little better. So I think me, you and Mighty's little rant, they listened to us, so they must be watching the show. Yeah, so a bit of a mixed bag. I think he will obviously get a little bit more into Meslier, but injuries first of all. So we obviously know Patrick Bamford is injured again. Going to be out for 4 to 6 weeks with a hamstring injury, which isn't obviously ideal. We've obviously heard as well there's
$70 grand a week, didn't it?
I know. We've heard of the outgoing possibly of Joffrey Gelhardt. That looks like it's on hold now at the minute because of the injury to Patrick Bamford, which again we'll get into a couple of transfers and bits and bobs. Fairbo's back in training, and then one really good one that I'm actually delighted here. Obviously, I'm happy Fairbo's back there as well. But Ilya Gruev is back in training, Dylan, for Leeds, which I think is really good. I think it's just class. It's nice to see him back to be, because obviously when he had the injury, we were kind of told that this could be season ending. To get him back, to start January now. Look, he will probably 2 or 3 weeks before he plays. It's probably more so going to be February by the time you see him. But a real big boost that Gruev is back in there as well. Strike is back training as well. Again, that's another big boost. I have a feeling we might see Strike against Harrogate just because he didn't play and he was back training. I just have a sneaky feeling. I know people won't want it, but just have a sneaky feeling because we haven't got many options in that centre back position. I think he might rest Rodon. He could possibly go. Yeah, I'll just play it on.
I would give every player a chance. It's a League 2 team. No disrespect to them whatsoever. But it's really also to show what our subs and our youths can really do.
Yeah.
It gives
even the Martin
fact also the the ideas, chopping and changing things, rotation of players, different formations, etc. Player strengths, weaknesses. Obviously, season training, but I think it'd be nice to see it ourselves, wouldn't it? Let's be honest.
Yeah, 100%.
But I do agree. You probably will take a strike.
Yeah, I think he might go because we haven't got much options at centre back. Dylan. So I have a feeling. I think it might be strike. I think he'll rest Rodon. Probably going to have to play Bogle because Smith, if he is going to play, more than likely he's going to go left back because we've heard Berber has a little bit of an injury as well on his knee as well after the whole game. So that's not too good. We've seen now a couple of times after Berber plays, he seems to be gone for a couple of matches after that with whatever knee injury he has lingering there. It sounds like I don't know, I'm no doctor, but it kind of seems like every time after he plays, the knee is swelling up. So there has to be something there. Maybe it's going to be potential surgery again. I'm not too sure. Not great. Obviously, Fairbo is back training. Is he going to play against Harrogate? Very early to bring Fairbo back in, isn't it? If he's only just back training since Tuesday this week. So I'm interested to see, is Smith going to go left Bogle, right? But it's a lot on Bogle as well. Do you know what I mean? He has been getting about the pitch the last word as well. I would like to see Bogle come out and have a little bit of a rest. Martin Cook says here, Puffer, yeah, it's not a bad show. He plays there for his country, or maybe Meslier should go up front. Instruction to keep the ball out of the net, and that's what we said. We should get Paddy Bamford in net because he can keep the ball out there. The other side. Look at us with sponsors. Cheers, Danny. Thanks very much for having us on. Yeah, Bloods, if you didn't know, we were over on Not Another Leeds podcast before this as well. Really good laugh with Danny and James. Go check it out. Great lads. And make sure you hit the like and subscribe button and all that good stuff over there. They're nearly at 1,000. So if you haven't done so already, go over and get Not Another Leeds podcast to 1,000. Really, really great, guys. This is Joseph's chance to grab a couple of goals. I'll be very disappointed if he doesn't take his chances. Yeah, and we will get onto the team lineup what we want. So the only other bits then from the press conference that we do obviously have to talk about, and we have talked about it a lot this week, is the Illan Meslier situation. So we obviously did turn around and say that Carl Darlow is going to start in nets. I think that was going to be a formality regardless of what happened. I think Meslier was going to come out of the firing line. He did criticise Meslier, said that his performance have been inconsistent this season, but we are top of the league, and he was named in the goalkeeper of the season last season as well. So he was very much backing him, but very much giving him a kick in the arse, kind of saying that your performances haven't been consistent enough this season, which I totally agree with. But my taking on it, and I don't know what everyone else in the chat did, or you're kind of taking from it, it very much felt like to me that he's going to be backing Meslier, which I don't think is going to be to a lot of fans' likings. With me, my concern is with Illan Meslier is that am I confident that Meslier is going to go from now to the end of the season, May, or I hate to say it, onto playoffs without making another mistake? I just can't see it, Dylan. I really, really can't see it, and that's my fear. I think now you might have some chance if you take him out of the firing line for a couple of games. Go with Darlow, go with Cairns, whoever it may be. Just take him out of the firing line, because at the end of the day, there is a human level to this as well behind it, where he has to be suffering. There was a picture as well put up on social media as well. I think he was walking around Harrogate, and he just looked absolutely down, distraught about it. So I would like to see him just taking out the firing line. I know he is going to be against Harrogate, but I think maybe Farke should take him out the firing line. Anyone else that plays that bad or performs that bad is taken out of the squad, and it shouldn't be any different for your goalkeeper to me. But he is going to back him. That's what it sounds like. And he's going to have to live and die on that hill, Dylan. So it's a massive decision. It's literally season defining. And I know that sounds dramatic, but it is. It really, really is season defining. These little decisions through the season. Sunderland won. It took us a couple of days to go over it, but when it did, it was like, look, we have to back Meslier. We have to. He's the only one there. We're so far away from the January window. We'll assess our options there. I thought his howler of the season was probably all right. That was once in a lifetime what happened. A little bit like the beach ball that Darren Bent scored against Liverpool. It's once in a lifetime situation. The ball hitting the divot and going by you. So you take it on chin and you move on, and then he does it again the weekend. And even apart, you take the second one over, even his performance for the first goal, the second goal, and then the one that you talked about as well, the front post where it was just in complete disarray. It was just a really bad performance for Illan Meslier, and someone that screams out to me who's low on confidence. And do you want your goalkeeper, never mind any of your outfield players, your goalkeeper low on confidence, and them defenders in front of them not confident in you as well? So I think it's a massive, massive decision, and I'm going to be interested to see what way it goes with Illan Meslier, because he can't be letting us down again. He really can't. What's your thoughts on it?
Yeah, look, going back, like Sunderland and the whole one. Forget about them for a minute. No, I'm not better. No one bit.
Because we're talking about Meslier
again. But no, look, he's made errors across the season, lads. Going back to the first game of the season against Portsmouth, Preston. I feel like there's a few mistakes in there. His clean sheet record is based on the defence, and they don't get enough praise for it. Farke obviously rates Meslier, and that's good, But as I said, when the Sunderland one did happen, I was more angry then than I am now, because I knew it was going to happen. I'm not really, Michael. I'm dying inside, pal. I'm not gonna lie. But I keep motoring. We keep going. But I was more angry with the Sunderland one, because I expected something like that to happen throughout the season, and it happened, obviously. But everyone was like, we need to get behind them. I feel sorry for this fella, and etc. But then over the next couple of games, he probably do okay in 2, pull off like a decent save. But same thing again, sound like Roy Keane. It is his job. He is a goalkeeper. That's what he does. Keep the ball out of the net. But then against Hull, it was just meltdown, pure meltdown. You know, going back to the first one. The first one, look, it was a great ball, played through. Meslier could have hesitate a little bit.
Cheers, Dave.
If I'm being honest with you, you know, they kind of hesitated a little bit. He could have done better, but look, at the same time, it was a good team goal from them. You know, we were stretched. It was a great goal. The one where he hit the post is the one that annoyed me because he just fell to his knees and just kind of gave in.
Just pure lack of communication, wasn't it? Yeah,
exactly. Yeah. And then obviously they hit the post and scored on, but the second goal that they scored, you know, if you didn't watch that another Leeds podcast, James, I'll try do it. Is the
there,
you know,
we like just dropping in say all Darlow, aren't we?
yeah.
We're just discussing it here. Yeah, but like, what do you think, Dillo? Like, obviously, I'm pretty sure I know what your decision like is, but it does sound like, and everyone else in the chat, I really would like to get your thoughts and your comments on the situation. Reading between the lines, yeah, he has criticised Meslier and said that his performance hasn't been consistent enough, and he's had a couple of mistakes this season. But it sounds very much like he is going to back him. But it's massive, Dylan. It's a massive decision going forward again, because if it does happen again, it's serious pelters for Illan Meslier. And then it's all the other bits, you know, when we talk about, you know, Meslier is an asset for this football club as well, and this is the reason why he's still here, because the 49ers see him as an asset that we could potentially sell on again in the future. I understand that, I really do. But his performance levels this season isn't doing that price tag any good. It's gradually dropping. So where it's a very fine line. Where does that stage come of playing an asset, you know, to optimize that value and playing him, and he's devaluing that? So it's a fine line that they're playing with at the minute. And like that, this is why Daniel Farke gets paid the big money to make these decisions. And it's probably one of them where you look back on, you know, towards the end of the season, or, you know, even into February and March, Darlow could have a great game against Harrogate. He could have a poor game against Harrogate, and it could completely sway the 49ers and say, we do need to go out and do something in the goalkeeping position. It's just, it feels like that, and Jared did mention it in our video as well. That feels like the weak link now for Leeds United is that goalkeeping position. I know we were banging on about 10 and, you know, getting another number 9 and X, Y, and Z, but it feels like now that is really the weak link, because we've seen it now. It doesn't make the 10 position, you know, and the striker position and the full backs and the centre backs anywhere near as important for me. It really feels like a weak link, and I've no confidence in him, whether it's from set pieces, you know, corners into the box, catching his ball, his distribution, his shot stopping, his handling, like everything about me. Just, he doesn't fill me with confidence whatsoever, and it just feels like another mistake waiting to happen, doesn't it?
I'm going to throw this out here. I don't know. It kind of just popped into my head. I'm thinking, you know, each individual player across the board here has to know what it means to be Leeds.
Yeah.
And
agree, Dave. Yeah, agree.
I'm going to throw this out. Meslier doesn't get it, because if he did, he would step up when it went on Mars. Now, it's obviously a traumatic experience as well for what he's gone through, considering a young goalkeeper came in, you know, he was unbelievable. And lads, we can all agree, Meslier was unbelievable when he came to Leeds. He was. He stood out really well. His kicking is
even that Premier League season, Dylan, when we finished 9th, look, they were all brilliant that season. Bielsa had them coached to the inch of their life, Dylan. Like, unbelievable. And I just think that when I think about Meslier, it's very much like the situation with everyone else that kind of played under Bielsa. You know, when you look at, you know, your Bamford, your Forshaws, your Dallases, all them, like, they all just completely broke down after Bielsa went, because he pushed them to the brink of nearly dead, Dylan, when you see what them lads had to do. Is it the same thing with Meslier? Is it that he was pushed too much in them early years? Did Bielsa see something in him, you know, push him too much? That mile in the square ball he used, and it's something that I can't get out of my head. And Jerry mentioned as well that he's found fear. He's found fear, because you know yourself that when you're young, you know, 16, 17, 18, 19, that kind of early years in your life, you've no fear in you. You don't understand fear. You know, you have that bottle in you.
Yeah, Darren, but look,
it's like he's found that. It's like he's found that fear now. He knows.
He's such a young lad as well. This is my point I'm getting across, is that, you know, the amount of, you know, he was at such a high with Leeds in the Premier League. He was standing. He was so young. He was making impact. We were winning against Liverpool. You know, we were winning against teams that, you know, as I said, we finished ninth there. We were phenomenal. We were really good. But then, you know, things started to change. We got different managers, and the amount of managers that we have been through up until Farke. You know, he obviously blamed himself from relegation. He could have had the opportunity to go. He didn't. You have to give him a pat on the back, lads. You have to give him a pat on the back. He stayed. Now, what I'm trying to say is that it's scars is the issue with him. It's time to go now because
that's what I'm saying. Like, it's like Free now he knows. Now he knows what it's like to make a mistake where he didn't own it. It was free flowing. He was a kid, you know. He came in with no pressure because obviously we'd no choice because the situation with Kiko getting banned for the racism thing, and Meslier comes in and does really, really well then that season. But it's ever since that season he's just regressed and regressed. The ninth place finish absolutely brilliant, but after that, Dylan, he's gone completely bad, and he doesn't fill me with confidence at all anymore. Like I said, any corners, free kicks, crosses, anything that comes anywhere near him, he always seems to flap at all the time. This whole punching thing, instead of coming, like, he's a big lad, like bigger than a lot of them. Why can't he just come out and catch the ball, you know, and take the pressure off your defense? Do you know what I mean? He comes out and punches it, and it still causes confusion. And you
need to command your box, and he's just not doing it.
I understand if you can't get it, well, then go with your punch down. But there's times where he has like no one around him where he can come out and just grab the ball, you know, get down on your knees, take the pressure off, build back, Leeds have the ball back. But he decides to punch it out. It drops one of their players outside the box, and then you have our players helter-skelter, you know, trying to press and trying to close the ball down. So don't really get the whole punching thing, and he's been doing it for a long time as well. But yeah, I just feel like this is a massive decision in the season, and I think we'll look back on this so either Farke was right or Farke was wrong, and that's genuine. I think it is genuine.
Problem is, Darren, we can't afford to get it wrong this time.
But that's it, Dylan. This is what the next thing I was going to say. Leeds United Football Club and Daniel Farke have no room to be sentimental and to be loyal to someone. For the best of the football club going forward for these next couple of years, it's imperative. It's absolutely imperative that Leeds United get out of this league this season because parachute payments are cut in half. The PSR restrictions that we'll have as well. You'll have a lot of these players who'll be looked to move on, the players that will have to move on, you know, wage cuts and stuff like that. It's imperative when you're gradually cutting that squad. Daniel Farke will be out the door as well. Then you're trying to get a man in, you know, on less wages you can give him as well. So there's a lot, and I know people are saying, look, we can't think of that, but we do. This is the repercussions if Leeds United don't go up this season. And Meslier has been throwing us away a lot of points. Some people are saying 4 points when you look back to Sunderland and you look back, the whole people are saying 4, people are saying 6, some people are saying 10. When you look back at the Meslier goal, and I understand you can always look at a goal and say keeper should have done better, but genuinely some of the goals that we've conceded have been straight down the throat of Illan Meslier. He's got 2 hands there and he still managed not to save it. It's like, I think personally for his sake, and again it's the people in the chat what their opinion is as well, I think personally he should take him out of the firing line. For a young man, the age that he's at, his confidence, it really could make or break his career, and he hasn't really had a break. I think take him out of the firing line, give Darlow a good run of games, see how he performs, and go from there. And if Darlow doesn't do too well or he's a little bit shaky, well, if Meslier comes back in, then, you know, big cojones, then, right, no, I am the top dog, I can come in and do it. I just have the fear of God if it happens again, it could be detrimental.
From the Sunderland one though, and like I said, everyone had to back him, and at the time I was like a lunatic because of the incident.
Yeah.
But, you know, everyone had to back him, and I understood a bit more. You know, he still is a young lad. He's our goalkeeper, and we need to back him. Fair enough. But then he made the mistake. So what? We just back him again and let him make another mistake? Yeah. It doesn't really work like that, lads. Yeah. You know, if I do something wrong on my job, it'll be commented on. I guarantee.
I understand. Michael does have a good point here. He, like, Farke isn't going to come out in public. So I'll read Michael's comment first, and then we'll get your thoughts below. So I say Farke knows he can't get rid of Meslier, so he can't be critical of him in public. Exactly, he can't. He can't come out and bash him. And go, yeah, he was absolutely sure you need to get rid of him. It's just not. It's not going to happen. In the case we have to rely on him again, I think Darlow plays tomorrow. He'll keep his spot for a while. I'm not too sure, Michael. I'm not just a boy. Again, it's one of them press conferences where there was a lot to read between the lines. You can be very much going, he's not going to back Meslier because he was critical of him. But then there was a side of him that he kept saying that he was a young man and we are top of the league and he helped us through a really good Christmas period and stuff like that. And he was named in the team of the season last season as well. So there was a lot there for me that outweighed that he was going to be taken out of the team. So I think reading between the lines, I think it's going to be Darlow against Harrogate. He's told us that, but I think he comes back in. I really do. I think he comes back in for Wednesday.
Yeah,
not Wednesday, against Wednesday.
Yeah.
Not stopping. Didn't get much sleep last night, so having an early night. Good night, Danny. Hope you're keeping well, pal, and we'll chat to you again soon. Danny talks about was Meslier Howlers keeping up. Yeah, this guy, I think he was keeping a lot of us up. Dr. Cox, I think he was keeping a lot of us up, buddy. Mez is arrogant. To be honest, he thinks he's better than what he is. Yeah, and I do get that vibes from as well, Dr. Cox. To be honest, the Udil and I get that vibes from at times as well, where he probably thinks he's a little bit better than what he is.
Yeah, that's the problem. I think it's definitely a personality thing. It is. You have to understand Leeds to be Leeds, and at the minute he's not. He's still young. You know, the amount of managers he's had, as I said, the relationship is finished. He doesn't get it anymore. He just wants to play football. That's what it is.
He's way off it, isn't he? He's just way off it at the minute. Might even imagine not being Leeds. Says Meslier peaked under Bielsa, like most of us. So he did. Yeah, we've touched on that. Because he was younger, he thought that we had a top player rather than an aging one. Yeah, like the rest. Maybe it's just Bielsa getting him to that level. Yeah, I think Matty, what disappoints me the most is, yeah, he was definitely 100% at his peak under Bielsa, but his distribution is something that I think has been coached out of him. Because under Bielsa's distribution, I think we can all say was unbelievable. Like I said, it was Alisson and Ederson-esque. The way he was kicking the ball, pinpoint, it was absolutely unbelievable, that Arsenal game and that season. Really, really good. And his kicking has digressed so much over the last 3 seasons at Leeds United. Some of the kicking is just straight out of play. And you're like, how can you go from doing that, pinpoint ball to go doing that? And it has to be that it's just coached out of them or not working on it in training. Yeah. It's obviously the saying, if you don't use it, you lose it. And it could be something like that where Farke thinks, well, it doesn't really, rely so much on his distribution as what Bielsa did. We obviously know Bielsa was very, very big up on distribution and his goalkeeper being able to play out from the backs. And I think it was constantly just repetition with Meslier, and he's seen something in him and got him to that level. But I just think, I think generally, like, he's gone really, really bad. And I think for Farke and for us, we need to take him out of the firing line. But I can't see it. I think Farke is backing him. Lee says, what happened at Hull? Farke gave him a bollocking at half time. And the rest of the squad, he definitely did, because that was a different side, Dylan, wasn't it? Look how he came out in the second half. Think that affected him? Maybe, Lee. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe he could have gave Meslier.
See, the thing is, though, the likes of the other lads that were on the pitch, even the subs can take it, and he clearly can't.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. Could be that's a real good point there from Lee. Could have, might just went in a little bit too much at halftime, and Meslier took it. Because it is like the thing. There's players that need a good rollicking and a kick in the hole to get them going, and there's players that need an arm around them and mind and mollycoddled. Meslier could be that. It's one of them things you never know. But whatever happened in that second half performance, he was definitely below par. Dr. Cox says Meslier has had too many chances, and that's it, Dylan. Like that's where it's got to, because if he's a new keeper that we signed this season, or even last season, and he's a little bit of credit in the bank, you're saying, look, it now happens. You're just going through a sticky period. But with Meslier, it's time and time and time again, isn't it? Like, he throws away more points than what he saves his points, and I think that's the whole point of it, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. Lads, I think the conversation is just, it's going to be here. We're going to have to just deal with it and get on with it and pray and hope, and maybe someone will pull something out of the bag and we just get promoted, get to the summer and sell him then. But I don't know. It's like a broken record now with Meslier. There's not much more to say. At the end of the day, he's just simply not good enough.
And it's the basics, Dylan. It genuinely is the basics of the goalkeeping, because we don't get bombarded with shots. No. We're never, under the cosh. Very, very rare that we are. So
that's what I know, because he gets credit for the clean sheets, and it's not him.
Everything he's done his whole life since he started playing football, of coming out, catching the ball, tipping it over the bar, kicking the ball out. It's literally just the basics. A couple of shots that are straight at you that you have to save. It's literally the basics of the game is what we want Meslier to do. And he's not doing that at the minute. So surely, Darlow, a Welsh international, can come in and do a better job than what he's at the minute. Like, I keep saying it, if the two of them are playing at the top of the game, Meslier is definitely the better goalkeeper if he hits his ceiling. But he's well below that ceiling at the minute. And anyone else in that squad or this team plays as bad as that, they get taken out of the firing line.
No, I'm actually going to throw a question at you. Yeah, would you say the Sunderland goal or the one where he should have tipped over, which goal was worse?
I think the one against Hull. The one against Hull, because the Sunderland
could have tipped it over.
Yeah, he should have just tipped it over. I think the Sunderland one was a divot. He should have been a little bit more aware of what was happening with the bouncing ball and stuff like that. You're always taught never let the ball bounce from a young age. I think anyone that's played football in the chat, you as well, they'll never let the ball bounce. It's always been that. But I just think he was very unlucky. Hit a divot. It's one of them. Yeah, it looks absolutely awful. He looks like an absolute teabag, but you take it. He does though. Do you know what I mean? And you take it and you move on. Sorry, you take it. But the whole one, Dylan, is horrendous. Like for me, the whole one is the worst one because all he has to do is even just touch the other side of his crossbar and let it go out with your confidence going over. Or if you just have a little bit of a feeling that it might just drop, just knock it over, concede the corner, we regroup, we set, and we go again. But you know what, Dylan? He probably knocks that over the bar. And we seen what happened for the third goal. He comes in, nearly takes the head off Boyram, and Boyram heads the ball out for the third goal. Drops to the edge of the box, and there's no one marking Kamara, which again is another conversation. Why is there no one picking him up at the edge of the box? Meslier's position is all over the place, and he smashes it right down the middle of the goal to make it 3. Also, it could be one of them where you look back and go, "Why didn't Meslier just let that go out? If he did tip it over, like, do you know what I mean?" So it's always going to be one of them, and there is. Watch the goals back again, and even the lead up to some of our goals. When we went 3-1 up, what I was saying, our general all-round play, we're usually risk averse. We keep the ball. We don't do anything silly, especially after a really poor first half. We did brilliantly well to get back into it and to get back up to 3-1. We should have just kept it. You know, just be a little bit more reserved, play our way back into the game. Some of our passing was so wayward and forcing it into the middle of the park as well. Ampadu was definitely, he's a culprit of it as well. Boyram did it a couple of times. Bogle as well. We just kept giving it back and giving Hull the incentive to come forward. That's the team issue. But then ultimately the buck stops at Meslier as well. He's the one that's made look like a goal. So it is a collective, and football has always been going to be a collective game. But it just when it happens in that moment, you look at Meslier, tip it over the bar, and you forget about everything else that happens, you know, before that. But I do believe Farke probably is looking at the bits before that as well, going, we're 3-1 up. You should be doing this. You should be doing that. Not giving the ball away. You know, not trying to force it too much.
Even now, Ampadu, lads.
Keep possession. Yeah,
you know, it was all over the place. Messi at the back. It was no people weren't switched on.
Oh, the whole thing, the whole game, apart from Meslier, take Meslier out of the equation, we were all over the place against Hull. Every time they came forward, we looked acceptable, didn't we? Big time, it looked like that.
Well, lads, I have to say, considering how low they are in the league, and I know we should have won them for that, but they played well. They played very well, and they frustrated us for a lot. Like I'd say, for only between the first half and the second half, more the second half, we were probably dominant for about 25 minutes to half an hour.
When we got the 3 goals, yeah, agree with you. Yeah, agree. We're getting to a few more comments. Mez was linked with Chelsea in the summer and wouldn't accept being number 2, so wouldn't go. Yeah, no, Dr. E. For me, he should have went in the summer, and that's why Dr. Cox that the club signed Darlow, because they thought Meslier was gone. Meslier was out the door, so Darlow was signed, lads, originally to be our number 1 goalkeeper.
Yeah,
so. Yeah, that's what he should have went in the summer. For me, the club should have tried and forced him out. Dave says Mez is an asset. Oh, sorry, Dave. Mez is an asset. Don't want to devalue him. Exactly, and that's my point as well, Dave. Is the more he plays, the more he's doing damage to his value. Do you know what I mean? It's like buying a new car, coming out of the dealership and smashing it into a wall, and then you reverse it and smash it into another wall. Just don't do anymore. Just leave it. Just don't touch it anymore. Like, do you know what I mean? And that's what it feels like with Meslier. Just leave it. You don't do more damage. Like, that's what it feels like with Meslier to me at the minute. Hi Paul, hope you're keeping well. Buddy Paul Wilkinson says we need to be looking at goalkeeping coach and staff as well. 100%. Yeah, there has been very little, if no improvement in Meslier since he has arrived, and that is another point as well, Dylan, because the coaches, and I know there's been obviously a lot of change in managers and stuff like that, but he's under Farke now for nearly 18 months, and we've seen a bigger regression under Daniel Farke than what we've seen under anyone else. Are the coaching staff to blame as well?
Yeah, definitely. When we're Leeds United, we should be, proving a point this season. Like, lads, don't get me wrong, last season was I think we can all agree, apart from Wembley, an enjoyable season, considering Rutter and Somerville. Like, it was a really nice watch throughout the season. A lot of plot twists and turns, we fell short a few times. But this season, we can't mess around. This is solely a life and death situation. If Leeds don't go up, it's going to be a catastrophe, completely and utterly.
It is, yeah.
So I think we genuinely have to start pulling something out of the bag here now, and not having, the coach and staff. I don't think we have the right goalkeeper. I don't think we have one at all, do we actually?
Yeah, there's one there. Yeah, there's one there.
Yeah. He's not good enough. Simply not good enough.
Your license if you're smashing it that much. Yeah, maybe Meslier should hang up his gloves then, Evie. That's what it feels like. It just feels like we're doing more damage at the minute. So maybe a bad example, but that's what I thought. Back four versus Hull was much change. Yeah, exactly, and that's obviously I've been saying, and we did obviously a thing on TikTok. I don't know if anyone's seen it, and I put Strike as our number one player, and the meltdown regards so Strike hasn't been our best player. But I was saying it to you, Dylan. Like, I think the flair players up front, you know, your Solomons, your James, your Nantos, Ramazanis, Piros, who gets the goals, are always going to be the shiny ones. Are always going to be the ones that look the best. But I just looked at Strike, and I just looked at him as a mountain of a man who organised that defence. Who was calm, composed, wins his headers, strong. Calmness, absolutely everything about brilliant. Like, I think Tanaka's been outstanding, but I really think Strike has been important, and I think we've seen that against Hull. He was taking all that team and complete this right. Our captain came back in and had a really, really poor showing. Couldn't organise that defence with his Welsh counterpart. It was all over the place at the back, and I think that was because Strike wasn't there to organise it. You've Ober then, who's a centre half playing as a left full. You've Ampadu then, who's a centre midfielder playing as a centre back, and then you've got Isaac Smith sitting on the bench that's a full back. So you're moving around three positions there just to try and get Ethan Ampadu on the squad.
No, you're creating three more problems to where you could just be solving one.
Yeah. Just solve one problem. Just do the obvious day. Yeah, you have an attacking wing back that he notoriously likes to do. Excuse me, when he was at Norwich, when he had Max Aarons and Jamal Lewis, two flying wing backs. We have that in Farke and Bogle now, in fairness. Farke obviously being injured, but you have another replacement on the bench there in Isaac Smith who can get forward, does it for his club, but you go with Volber. It doesn't really make sense to me, the situation as well with Isaac Smith. Again, that's another conversation to have. Let's hope that he does start against Harrogate, because I really do want to see him. Not another Leeds podcast said, lads, if Sinister and Toilet Adams were about to be covered by red you can never take them seriously, man. Covered by red ants, and you had to choose which one to set on fire, which Netflix show
set free.
Which one would you go watch? I'd watch Gogglebox watching that. That's what I'd watch.
That's actually a show, to be fair.
Yeah, I'd watch Gogglebox watching that. Yeah. What would you watch, Dillo? You so randomly.
That is just so, like, you know, it's just it just mind boggles you, doesn't it? You have to, like, take a minute to even, like, think it, to process it.
Danny's mind works differently to everyone else on this planet I've ever met. Like,
to be fair, the same as you, 100%. I actually like that. That's a good way.
Said yes. However, the back four was regularly won against Sunderland, and he made a mistake as well. Yeah, can't disagree. Right, Dylan, we'll move on. Obviously, Harrogate Town up tomorrow. We are doing a watch along for that tomorrow, guys, as well. We are live at 5:30 as well, so we're doing a Leeds United versus Harrogate Town watch along tomorrow. We'll hope it goes a little bit better than the last one we did against Hull City. We hope. But opposition watch, Harrogate Town League 2. Harrogate Town sit 21st in the League 2 table, so very nearly a conference side. So they've only one win in 8 games. The last 5 results, they've 2-0 loss to Warsaw, 2-1 loss to Grimsby, 1-1 draw to Fleetwood, 2-0 loss to Salford, and then their last out on a 2-0 win to Barrow. The key men are Josh Marsh, who has 4 goals, and then Jack Muldown, who has 3 assists. We don't know any of them players. We don't know anything. But reading between the lines, Dylan, the last 8 games, they've one win, 24th in the League 2 table. With all the rotation in the world, Leeds United at Ellen Road have to be beating Harrogate tomorrow, don't they?
They should be smashing them 6-0. That's not my prediction, by the way. On paper. And the way they are setting it up and the way they're describing it to me, should be. But we are Leeds United and we like to do things the hard way.
Yeah.
So, who you know, could be a 1-0.
No. He baffles me.
Never straight out.
They should still have Leeds versus Hull in a few. Yeah, imagine that. Imagine that back. I can't.
Imagine Joe Roda put his head through the telly altogether.
Yeah. This will go pointed out because we are going to obviously move on to your thoughts on the Leeds team tomorrow as well. So Paul says, do we give Joffrey a game tomorrow? Yeah. You know, I'm kind of tired on this one for the first time. If there was no transfer speculation and this wasn't in the middle of the window, I'd say, yeah, play him. I'd hate something to happen to Joffrey tomorrow if he goes out and plays and gets injured and then he does have to stay here. I don't know if that's been like. I do want him to play football. Don't get me wrong, 100%. I'd love him to play, and if he is going to go, maybe his last send off for Leeds tomorrow against Harrogate. I would just have the fear something happens then, and then he is definitely stuck here. Then, do you know what I mean? We'll get into your team against Harrogate tomorrow. Then, what is it you'd like to see tomorrow? We are going to see some sort of rotation. Are you thinking wholesale?
Yeah, I'm not going to say who, like, where I want to see players. Formation wise, or the starting 11, I'm not going to name that. But what I would like a full shake up. I'd like everyone. This is what I would. It's not going to happen, but I would like for that to happen. I think now's the time to experiment. As you said, they've one game out of the last 8. Gotta keep people on it.
He's bad.
But no, yeah, I'd like all over the park. I'd like a trial to see the strengths and the weaknesses. You know, someone in the 10, preferably, so Aronson doesn't have to do a run. As we said on not on the Leeds podcast, as James said, poor Aronson. You know, he's just gonna keep running, like. Yeah. You know, like rumor has it he doesn't even get the bus to the games or drives. He just runs.
Just legs it down the train.
Yeah, now look all over the pitch. I think just it completely down to the goalkeeper, everything. You know, don't get me wrong. I would bring the likes of Nanto and Ramazani, give them a run.
What would be you're Daniel Farke? You're picking that starting 11 tomorrow.
Yeah, I'd definitely start Joffy and Schmidt.
Yeah,
that's without question. Darlow, I wouldn't start.
What are you going, Joffy in the 10 and Joseph up top?
Joseph up top, yeah.
Yeah.
Ramazani and Anto. I'd like to see the boy crew. Oh, just for me, because I'm a Leeds fan as well. These are players on the team. I just want to see more of them.
That's what Dave says. Remember his thing, yeah. Like we just have a bad reputation in this FA Cup. Like we really, really do. I hope it's not.
I'm not. Yeah, like I'm not. Don't get me wrong. I'm not really. Just for me, I'm not really worried about the cup. I'm just solely concentrated. I'm solely concentrated on the league. If I'm being honest.
Yeah, me too. I can't see wholesale, to be honest. As much as people will say, you know, get them all out, give them all a rest, I can't see wholesale changes. I think the reason being is because what happened at Middlesbrough, he done it, and that turned out really, really bad, Dylan. Like, that was really bad spanking. Like, you know, I don't think it was a bad thing getting knocked out by Middlesbrough in the cup. It was the way we lost that game 3-0. We were horrendous all over the place. Just disarray, knocked a lot of confidence in that team at the time. So I don't think Farke's going to do that again. I really don't. No. This could be one of them. If you go and lose this game, Jesus Christ, God forbid, 1 or 2-0, that could have a real damage effect in that dressing room. I think, to be honest, I think it's going to be Darlow and Nets. He's obviously told us that 100%. I'm hoping to see Smith left back. I think Baldwin will go right back. And I think he's going to go strike. I think I might be striking the Boyo. I think it'll be someone. I think it will be the Boyo in there, but he's going to have to go someone experienced in there with him. We know Vauber's out injured. I think Rodon has played a lot of football at the minute. It might even be Ampadu. You might even see Ampadu in there, but I have a feeling it might be Strike. Hall and Roll.
I think it could be just down to just solely 4, maybe 3 changes.
Yeah, you might even see Gilavogi in there. Maybe Gilavogi in the middle. Probably Rotwell. I say you might go Rotwell in beside him. Nanto on the right. Ramazani on the left. I think he's going to go Aronson, lads. I don't want him to, but I think he'll probably flog Aronson again, and then I think it'll be Joseph up top. It's still a very strong side. A very, very strong side. And it's fringe players that haven't been getting minutes in this team at the minute that you want to keep sharp. I want to see Ramazani play tomorrow, 100%, because I really think that he's been off the last couple of weeks. He needs to get that rust out of his game since he's came back from injury, because he was arguably our best player before he got injured. So I do want to see him come back in tomorrow, hopefully get a couple of goals and a really good showing and shows his talent. Same thing with Smith as well. I really want to see him get a couple of minutes as well. So I can't see wholesale. I really can't. I think there will be 1 or 2, but I can't see it being massive. Yeah. Wayne says here, when we need Darlow to play well, we need Smith to play well, start, and we need an overall good performance. And that's it, Dylan, don't we? We really do. It has to be one of them tomorrow. A good overall performance, a decent showing by these fringe players that haven't been getting minutes, to show Daniel Farke and show us as fans, right, we're all pushing in the one direction, that they're ready to step in, isn't it?
So it's exciting as well.
League 2 Harrogate. It's League 2 Harrogate.
Yeah, League 2 Harrogate. It's a great day out for Harrogate as well, lads. Don't get me wrong. Come down, you know, like it's come down the road. Good relationship between 2 clubs, and I feel like
maybe Paul.
It's just more. It's more for the fans, I believe. I just want to see players like Schmidt and the Boyo crew. Just I want to see these boys.
Yeah, good show from Lee as well. Do you remember we played Akron Stanley in the cup when Marsh was in charge, and he put Rodrigo on, and Rodrigo got injured? Like, yeah, it's that as well. That's the thing about these cup games. Depends how strong he is. Yeah, I agree. Dr. Cox as well. It depends who he is. I just think he's been back in training since Tuesday. Just think we're missing the whole game as well. We might see him back in. Again, it's just my thing. I just think he'd be someone experienced in there as well. I think he'd be a man to go with the boy out. Like, what other centre halves do we even have? Maybe Gilavogi might go in centre half there with him. But I think it might be striker.
I want to see Gilavogi actually tomorrow. Yeah.
Harry Gray. Oh, now Harry Gray is back training. Is he back up to full speed? Dr. Cox, I did obviously see that he's back in training, which is great news after his injury. I just don't know if he's back to full speed and like match.
He's going to be
match playable at the minute. Yeah, hopefully. White Snake boys see Leeds signed Tom, Dick, and Harry. Yeah, and we're going to get onto that, Dylan, as well. Like the transfer window as well, it is open, and Leeds United are yet to make a move. I hope they haven't charged Harrogate fans over. I'm not too sure, mate. I did see Harrogate released today on their official Twitter account. There was a couple of limited tickets that have became available. Yes, I'm not sure. Yeah, I'm not too sure if Harry Gray is up to it. Dylan, next thing I want to touch on, which is obviously the January transfer window. We're 10 days into it. Mm-hmm. We were notoriously known now since the 49ers have taken over that we don't seem to do things early on and doing no. We seem to kind of observe our options to see what comes available. And then we also seem to move in silence as well. Do you think they're still doing that behind the scenes, or are we the Leeds that are sitting in the corner doing nothing about the situation we're in at the minute?
It's going to mix the boat, isn't it? I think it's going to be towards the end of the window before there's any concrete rumour evidence. There's a lot of rumours at the minute, and based on throwing this out to everyone that is watching, me and Darren don't know unless we won't comment on it until we know it's signed and sealed. But yeah, the 49ers keep it close to their chest. They're going to fly under the radar. You'll have people on X and Facebook and etc. Keeping an eye on Fly Tracker and who's coming into the Leeds Bradford. And lads at the landing in Leeds Bradford for a medical. Door barge in the morning.
Not happening.
You're there first.
It's not happening.
No, I don't think so. But yeah, look, they keep it in wrapped up. Only time will tell, really. I think it'd be very silly if they didn't bring in at least two players.
What do you want to see though? Like, what do you want Leeds to do versus what you think we will actually do?
What I want them to do is get a goalkeeper, a number 9, and most importantly a number 10, and probably a right back and a centre half.
It's great. You're not asking for much, eh?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, that's Premier League level, you could say.
Yeah. What do you think they'll realistically do?
Realistically, I think they'll probably just get 1, maybe 2 at a push on loan. I'd say they'll get a 10. Farke did sniff around about that. Yeah, I think a 10. I think it's a bit silly if he didn't. Like, I think everyone that I've ever talked to about it has said a number 10 is needed. So if everyone in the whole world, you could say, to a degree, has agreed that a 10 should be brought in, but then a 10 should be brought in. So, Farke did mention it before. Was it summer, was it? They didn't get the 10 that they wanted.
Yeah, the window gone. We obviously did a lot of business just about. Obviously, we've seen a lot of our players go out the door, and then we just about got enough in towards the end of the window as well. And then Farke obviously did speak highly then about not getting a number 10, and that would have been one that he liked. I can't see him still being far away.
That's what I'm saying. Like we've done it up until now, Darren, and the mistakes I made with Meslier and just games that we've been losing silly or whatever.
Yeah,
now it's time to just
it's been fine.
Straighten them and tighten the strings a little bit and get the players that you want in. Regardless,
it feels like more just don't leave it to chance, isn't it? Just don't think that we're there. Don't think that we have enough. Don't rest on your laurels. Just go and do it. And
what's the worst that could happen? Like, You're putting it in the position. Right. If we don't sign a player,
he spoke about Dylan, saying that there is money there, that there is money in the bank. So it is one of them. Just go and do it, lads. Just don't wait. Don't sit in your hands. Don't turn around and go, right, we'll save a few kid, because we think we have enough in the squad, because we are only 1 or 2 injuries away of being, again, square pegs and round holes. If Aronson gets an injury as well, like, who's going to go in the number 10? We don't know. We haven't seen anyone play there. Rodon there as well. The way Rodon plays, because easy pick up a red card one of the games this season, could easily pick up a hamstring injury and be out for a while as well. Who goes right centre half then? We've obviously seen the situation of fullbacks as well. So we're putting our captain, who's meant to be a midfielder, we're putting him now at right back as well to cover positions out there as well. We're putting a central defensive midfielder out to left full as well, who doesn't give us that going forward either. So there's a lot of square pegs and round holes at the minute, and it just feels like just go and do the obvious. Go do the obvious thing. Put the money on the table. I'm not asking Leeds to go out and spend stupid amount of money and put ourselves into trouble. Absolutely not. But what Farke has turned around and said is that he can't rule out a marquee signing, and that there is money there to spend. But then he's also saying in the same breath, I'm expecting a quiet window. And you understand keeping your hands close to your chest. But all that side of it, and the games that you play in the media, and Farke says this and Farke says that, I just don't want us to do it. I don't want us to just sit there and do nothing.
I think it's all things considered. Like, what's the worst that can happen? We go sign a player that will make an impact in now coming the long stretch now towards the summer.
Yeah.
And we do well with this and rotate it, with Aronson or etc. And we go up. We could say Leeds done good business in January. They got us over that line. With Tanaka, like, for example, we brought him, to be fair, I think we can all agree if Tanaka was here last season, we probably would have went up.
We just had something different from midfield. Yeah.
Not solely from Tanaka, just in the general purpose of the way that he plays. His calmness on the ball. It was a bit more structural to what Kamara was. Knocking it side to side.
Yeah.
But
Jared
if we don't,
again, Dylan, he spoke in that video as well, and it's something that I didn't think about. And this is why Jared's the best in this game for me, because he talks about it logically. I look back to that January window, what we done last year. Really annoyed with the 49ers that we only got Connor Roberts through the door when we should have got a little bit more. Pirro wasn't fully on it up top as well. Patrick Bamford was way down the pecking order as well.
Yeah.
Joseph was in the background, but he was way down. His progression through the ranks at Leeds at the time. And I was saying, just go. We need someone not big and physical, not a hit ball, not a long ball man, but someone that could just hold the play up, a different profile of striker. We just didn't do it. You go see Ipswich go and do it. Southampton go and do it. They get themselves promoted out of the league. They knew exactly what they're doing. And that's what it feels like Sheffield United and Burnley are doing the exact same thing as well. They needed cover up front. They've gone and done it in Ashley Barnes. And again, whatever you think of Ashley Barnes, he is an absolute nuisance. A nuisance up front. He will wreck the heads of championship defenders. Really shrewd signing. And they've got cover at right back as well for Connor Roberts. So they're naturally seeing the weakness in their squads and they're strengthening. You see Brenton Diaz as well going to Sheffield United. Brilliant signing for the championship as well. And it's just like, again, it's only early in the window. Leeds might do and they might prove us all wrong. And I hope they do that. But what Jared turned around and said, he said, I don't think it was a January window that done us. It was that March international break when we sent all our players off on international duty and they all came back with bandages and broke up. They were in rag order. The Welsh lads were after getting knocked out. Nanto didn't come back the same player either as well. Georgie was way, way off. He wasn't away in international duty. But after the international break, he was jaded. He had the hernia surgery. Do you remember he got the... So there was a lot around that March international break that completely derailed their season. So that is something else that if Leeds are going to send players out in that March international break, you have to have cover. You have to have cover if any of them are coming back injured. And that's something that you could look forward to. You might get away with it January, February. But then when it comes to March and they come back injured, what's it going to be? What happens if Aronson comes back injured? What happens if Rodon comes back injured? What are you going to do then? What's plan B? What's the option? So you can't just hope and pray that we don't get injuries. Make sure we have enough in the tank to get us over this, get it over the line.
Imagine if we didn't go up and we didn't get players in this January window. Partial payments, we're staying in the championship. Farke gets sacked.
I'll always say that.
Farke gets sacked, players are let go.
Who was it? So you'll have to find out who that is.
Leeds United, community will fall to slumber. And then you're worrying about, well, the conversation will be had, well, why didn't we just go out and get 2 players in January?
Yeah.
Just do the right thing.
Yeah, and this is what Paul says here, and this is what I'm saying. I don't want the club to go out and overpay. The club have to be careful not to overplay in January. The squad will need massive improvement if we go up, and that's it, Paul. That's what I don't want the club to think that we've already got there, and I don't want them foreseeing. Well, if we get to the Premier League, and I agree that we're probably going to need a full.
You don't have to be buying them, just a
goalkeeper. Yeah, even just alone. Like people mentioned Buendia again, whether that happens, but I just don't want us to rest on laurels. I don't want us to be stupidly overpaying for players. But surely they've already been looking at it, Paul, and surely they have a list of players there, whatever positions that they're looking at, and have a full list and going, right, let's go through this. And surely we should be able to pick the bones of someone there that can come in and do a job for us. Buemo, yeah, Jesus Christ, I'd love him. What a player. Buemo from Brentford, maybe be a good asset for us. Yeah, would he be available, Wayne? Would you think? That would be a real shrewd sign on that. Like him, very, very good. All right, Dino, what's happening, buddy? Yeah, I'm not too sure, though. Not like that. And Buemo, he would be unbelievable. I definitely 100%. I'd take him.
Anyone there, if I'm being honest with you. Just a bit of cover, man.
Yeah, no, we do need. I don't want it. It is like it's silly season as a January window, and you see it when you go online, and you see it as well from Jerry's news videos. We're linked with everyone and anyone. You know, we're linked with this person, and Latte Lat as well as the latest name to be kind of thrown about as well. Like I don't think we go for someone like him because I think they see Pirro. They've spent a lot of money on Pirro. Middlesbrough are probably going to want anywhere from 10 to 15 million probably for him as well. They're selling to a rival, so again, that's going to be inflated. They might even turn around and say 20 million for Latte Lat. I can't see Leeds doing that.
Sell Bamford, loan out Joseph.
Never
keep Joffy. And get Latte Lat.
Wayne says here, I very much doubt it. Yeah, me too, Wayne, buddy. Crew is 6 and yeah, again, another conversation with Crew having sitting on the bench week in, week out, not playing for 21s. Should be. Latte Lat comes if Joseph goes on loan. Does Joseph go for you?
I was genuinely joking. He has to step it up, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Like if it's real, like Latte Lat, then yeah, 100%. Doesn't he? Like, what's the point of having Joseph here? He needs to improve. You know,
freezing here we are, White Snake Boys in Ireland. Like I think it's like 0 degrees outside or something, isn't it? White Snake Boys rocking around in shorts and t-shirt. Jealous, buddy, jealous. Seeing as he plays Gilavogi over him, he probably does. But I read that the coaches thinks he's improving more at Ellen Road. He's still young, perhaps better if he stays. Maybe. Does he play for under 23? He doesn't. He hasn't been playing. That's my problem as well. It's could be with younger players as well that they're not playing. Joffy as well has been playing 21s. Crew has been playing 21s. Chambers, I think, has dropped down and played, but from what I've seen, Crew hasn't dropped down as well. It's not great in their development. It's great, after coming in the odd time, to be with the first team. Great experience for them. Do you know what I mean? Brilliant. But like if they're sitting on the bench over and over and over again, that's not good for their development. Not for me.
Yeah.
Along with benefit as well. Dr. Cox, I'd 100% agree. I think alone would do the world of good for a lot of these players, would you?
It would.
We need cover on. Look, obviously we can't leave ourselves short. Like seeing people saying, let the boy go, let Chambers go, let Carew go.
No.
Let's see, Gelhardt goes. You can't really let them all go because that's essentially your bench. A lot of them have been on the bench as well. Like let them go if there is going to be cover brought in. Are we going to go in? To the loan market, we do have loan spots to fill as well. So let's hope we could do a couple of shoe signings, from the Premier League as well. That players that are kind of on the fringes that aren't playing. I'm sure the number 10 position is definitely something that we could look at 100% because you could easily turn around and say, look, well, we're playing Aronson week in, week out. If you come here, you have an opportunity getting into this team. If you play well, you could get in there as well. So
that's what I would be looking at. I'd be looking at first, like a standout player that is in the Premier League. Who isn't playing much, but now that they have something to offer, because coming down to the Championship and then look, as you said, they hit the nail on the head. If we are in the Premier League, we have the option maybe to possibly buy you, and you could get regular football here next season.
Yeah. No, I agree 100%. Dillo, we'll get your Harrogate predictions tomorrow. Obviously, FA Cup game, 3rd round. We do want to go into net. I'd love a cup run. I think my lifetime supporting Leeds United. We've had a couple of special moments in the FA Cup. You think back to Arsenal. I think it was the Arsenal in the Emirates. You think back to Jermaine Beckford as well. We have had a couple of good times, especially when we're back in the League One days. But then we've had a couple of stinkers, absolute stinkers. Would you like to see us go on a cup run before I get your prediction?
No.
Or are you one of them just...
I'm not interested.
Will you be happy enough if Harrogate beat us 1-0 tomorrow?
I feel, yeah. I genuinely feel Leeds should be solely committed on league at the minute. Leeds should be worried about cup. For the simple reason is...
Would you not like it though? Would you not like to beat Harrogate and then the next round, we get Scum or Chelsea or Arsenal coming to Ellen Road and a chance to turn them over?
No, because the chances of someone getting injured at Harrogate is very, very high. And then, like that, the championships, a few games coming up, and then we're playing against United, and then, it's a big deal. Or against Scum, it's a big deal, Farke's obviously going to want to prove a point, between the rival of the club, and we're more worried about that much than getting promoted to the Premier League. To be honest with you, I think when we're in the Premier League, we can worry about the cups. For the minute, just solely concentrate on the league. We can't afford any distractions, lads.
Yeah, see, I'm the opposite. I'm the opposite. I love a cup run. I love the whole thing of the draw. You beat Harrogate and then you're in the draw for the next round, and then it comes out and who you're going to get. And yeah, look, there's obviously ones you can get short, and we probably get, the ones that are pocky, like probably Plymouth away or Fulham away or something like that, where you want the big toys. Yeah, I'd love to see us go on like a little cup run. I know what you're saying. I understand what you're saying, that it could derail our season and kind of take our eyes off the championship a little bit. But yeah, I'd love us to go on. I'd love us to go on a cup run. I really would. But I'll see us push. Imagine like being in like the semi-finals of the FA Cup and something like that would just be deadly. But yeah, obviously the odds of it happening are way out. Are the lone international spots international ones, or have some homegrown available? I'm not too sure, Paul. Not too. Do you know, Dillo?
That's a good one. Now, that's a good one.
I'm not too sure, Paul. I must actually check that up, buddy. I must check that up. But we should. But we haven't loaned many players. Who have we got on loan? Solomon. That's it.
Rowell.
Surely. Oh, Rowell as well. Yeah. Tanaka be signed. Signed Rodon. Signed Bogle.
So 2 loan players.
2 loan players. Surely you're allowed more than that. We'll check that out, actually. Good show, Paul. Good show. More games for fringe players. Yeah, I don't see it being bad, Dave. If we could go on a run and no issues at all. We need to show some at 100% agree. 2 spots left. Thanks, Dave. Yeah, so we have 2 spots left, so we definitely have the opportunity to do something. Strange kickoff time tomorrow. That always seems to throw the players off 100%. Live on BBC Player. Yeah, it is, but it's live on BBC tomorrow. It's 5:45 kickoff, which you're right, Paul. Strange time. Myself and Dylan are doing a watch along for the game tomorrow. We will be live at 5:30. We'll bring you the team news and we'll watch the first half, and then we do a fan phone-in show at halftime. We pop the link in the chat so you can pop on and have your say at halftime as well, how you think the game is going.
Good crack.
Good bit of laugh as well. You go kind of kick back so you can give your thoughts of the first half performance.
Or you can just come on and slay me and Darren. Don't really mind.
Either or.
I've been sick for 2 weeks now, so I can kind of take it at this stage.
Yeah. Need number 5 short in the background there. Loving that. I've got Pascal on the back of me away short. You've Pascal on that. So yeah, if any of you don't know, O'Reilly's autographs on Instagram do Leeds United memorabilia. So these are signed shorts. I've Joseph and Ramazani. Dylan has and Strike. So go check out O'Reilly's autographs.
Do you get these certificates here where my finger is as well?
Yeah.
They are getting framed. They are.
Yeah.
They are.
These are the players who get their chance, and yeah, it is. And it's an opportunity tomorrow, isn't it, for a lot of them players, especially the likes of Ramazani. Like I just keep thinking Ramazani, Smith to kind of lay down a marker. Okay, Dr. Cox, yeah, must check that out. 2 or 3 spots is still good out, and the club should definitely be filling that, obviously based on the right wages and that as well. Yeah, 100% agree. Dillo, I think that's it. Anything else to add?
No, hopefully Leeds just don't get anyone injured tomorrow.
So you don't care if Leeds lose 1-0 tomorrow against Harrogate? You're
not one bit. I tell you, I am looking forward to the game, considering it's a time for new things. I still think it'll be a steady on win, like 4-0, say, and like just steady and controlled. Won't be too, won't be chaotic.
Yeah.
4-0.
Agree what Paul is saying here as well. Should be fun, like it should be. Great show. Thanks very much again, Paul. And White Snake Boy says the players that come into play need to seize their opportunity 100%. They need to be forcing the book. I know it's League 2 Harrogate, but if you see, they're going to keep saying Ramsden, or even Joseph. We'll use Joseph for a different example. If Joseph goes out tomorrow and scores 2 or 3 against Harrogate tomorrow, yeah, right, he mightn't start against Wednesday. He might see Pirro coming in. But it might just get Daniel Farke start thinking, right, he scored a couple of goals. And even for him as well, his own confidence.
For his own confidence, yeah.
Just his own confidence, just finding the back of the net, you know what I mean? It's massive. Confidence is absolutely everything in football. So, yeah, I'd love to see that.
That's what you want. There's not more that I want to see that Joseph or say Joffy does score.
Watch Sunville play terrible tonight. What score is that one, Arthur? Sunville must have started then. What's happened? He took off half time, was he? He's having a stinker there. Everyone
that Leeds does.
Yeah. Scooby says, let's just have a nice cruise with the reserves. I'd love that.
Yeah, exactly.
Get to see a few that we ain't see, and that'll do a nice. Yeah, I'd agree. I'd like to just go out there like that. Few fringe players win the game nice and comfortably. But then you have Dave here, and this is my side. This is the Leeds in the back of the head. We lose on penalties to Harrogate. Very, very easy to happen. Carl Hennessy is here. Players in the Premiership are reluctant to drop down. Yeah, drop down to Leeds in case we don't go up. But maybe just a loan, Carl. That's what maybe saying a loan we do it. We should follow what Sunderland done and get a player in along with an obligation to buy if you go. Yeah, exactly. Something like that, Carl. And I think they're looking at that where Amadema Bele off Nottingham Forest as well. The Irish international can cover. Centre half, has played in a back three and has played right full back as well, and has played under Daniel Farke at Norwich as well. I think that'd be a real sign if you get him in along with an obligation. If you even say 10 million for him, for me that's a no-brainer. Great option in the Premier League and a really high ceiling. I think he's still only 22, 23, but a really good player that would be. They want to sniff tonight. Come on, Dave. 2-1 Villa. He's injured, I think. Who was injured, buddy? Oh, Somerville. Will is injured. He got a knock out there. Right, lads, we'll leave it there. Thanks very much for popping into Only Leeds Bros. Before you leave the video, please don't forget to smash a like on the video, hit subscribe to the channel, and as I said, myself and Dylan will be back at 5:30 tomorrow for the watch along against Harrogate Town, where we hopefully see Leeds United progress through to the next round of the FA Cup. Matty over and Imagine Not Being Leeds is live now as well, so make sure you pop across to Matty and check him out, and we'll chat you all again soon. Have a good evening and mind yourselves and mind each other.